What's up, everybody? Today I brought in my Fragpunk duo Way to Move to help me rank all the characters in Fragpunk. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and let us know what we got right and what we got wrong. Let's get into it. First, we're going to start with Booker, and on 3, 2, 1, we will say where we think we are going to put him. So 3, 2, 1, S.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
I think it's a very easy choice. The grenade launcher, I mean, if you play Valorant, you know Raze devastates lobbies. He has 2 shots with it, and it can come back and everything. I mean, he has an ultimate in most games. That is his ability, which is already good. The cherry bombs are amazing for flank. And then his smoke grenade is so unorthodox. So if you practice with it, then I think you can just really devastate lobbies.
I was going to say too, like, I think from an attacking perspective, because I know that you said that you use the cherry bombs for flank, but even using the cherry bombs to cut off certain certain angles that you know that this person could peek from, and just having them to have to destroy those before they can peek that angle. And so you could take space a lot easier or focus on one angle. Or even the fact of using the smoke to just cut off an entire angle too is just really nice.
Yeah. He has great abilities for even some of the worst players, and then the adaptability and the capability of just being really good at high tier. So I find it hard to not put him at S tier. All right, so next we have Nitro. 3, 2, 1, S.
A.
So I was hesitant about it because for me, without a doubt on defense, I can understand the A for sure because she does fall off on the offense side. But at the same time, that bot that runs around is just so good. She also has the turret that can watch flank. But if you have a real team that gets you to sight, for the other team to come maybe retake or whatever, that is going to be one of the most difficult retakes you ever have in your life. So that's why I put her at S tier, because she may fall off on attack as an attacker, but if you have a full team comp, you kind of play around that as well.
Yeah, I can see that then, because I was going to say her, just the fact that you don't have somebody else looking, like I'm thinking of her as the same as you would think of like Sova, in a sense where it's like getting that information, helping like your teammates be able to peek angles and stuff. But I was thinking of the point of really that's cool and everything, but once that stops, like you have to then you're late to the battle. But I mean, it still is good.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because at the end of the day, does S justify you having to force your team to play around that character? That's where it does get difficult in that regard, because if you don't have a team that is, able to get to sight easy, then you are going to have a hard time with this character. I mean, she can scout, but the bot is pretty easy to shoot and it's low health. The wall is not going to do anything for you unless you have the ground and everything, and typically you're trying to take the ground.
I can see that then, because, well, that's why I kind of gave her an A though, is because like you said, if you don't have anybody that's kind of pushing in, then like you said, with being an S tier is like, are we basing a character off of the rest of the team also being good that makes them S tier? I can't really do with that, because by herself, like, she got the bot and all, but like you said, you have to take that space to be able to put down that wall. You have to do those things. If she can be aggressive, what's her third ability?
She has the turret and she has the wall, and then she has the sentry bot that you can control.
Okay. I just think that, I mean, you could get pretty aggressive with her bot and be able to peek angles and then maybe get out of it and then take that space your own. But yeah, I'd have to put her at A if that was the case.
Yeah, I think based on the fact that you just have to force a team comp around that, it also lowers her in that regard too. So I'm down with A for sure. So next up, we have Hollowpoint. 3, 2, 1, S.
S tier.
Yeah. The sniper is broken. I mean, 150 of 1 kill to the body is insane. 2 abilities that can reveal people through walls. With their wall that can go out, you can stop it, make a one-way. keep it going to reveal enemies. Charge on the rifle is not that long at all, so it's super easy to get that. And I think she's really good on attack and defense. The sniper falls off on attack, in my opinion, but her reveal abilities are just so good as well in the wall.
I think that her sniper is actually just as good on attack as it is on defense, because if you really, like you said, it's a shot to the body. So holding that angle, you're always going to win that. You can just simply just walk up while it's charged and just do that. And if you get close to a point where, like, let's say you're closing up on the wall on your left that you need to check, but there's still a wall in front of you, then you can simply just throw out a smoke right there for you, give you that cover, and then just check that next angle, or vice versa. And it just makes it a lot easier to push by yourself and also get information.
Yeah, I don't think the sniper is bad at all on offense. I just know when you are in the sniper, if you're not holding an angle, you're at such a disadvantage because you walk so much slower. So that if a person is holding you, then you should die. But I don't think the sniper is bad on attack at all. I just don't think it's nearly as good as it would be on defense. Yeah. This one was probably one of the easier ones. Honestly, I would move her above Booker, in my opinion. Booker is so good and easy to play. But what do you think? Do you think she's better than Booker?
Yeah, I for sure think she's better than Booker. It's just way easier to get kills with her.
Yeah. All right. And for our fourth character, we have Jaguar. 3, 2, 1, D.
D. You know what? I would even go down to D, to be honest, because he just doesn't really seem like he's like, I don't know, for defense, right? Like you need that information that they're gonna be close, so you could use the detection. But then once you use that, it's cool and everything, but there's nothing really gonna save you from like a hard push other than your wire. So I don't really believe he has like good maybe traps. That's the case.
I think his like combo, or the way you would have to use him is like you put your trap down in the area for a chokehold you think they're at, outside of sight, and then you're playing close enough. Once that trap triggers, you put the smoke down and you're going to get some free kills. The issue is you see abilities on the ground, right? So you have to also hide this trap for it to work, and the radius isn't that large. His circle isn't that large either, or square. And then sure, he has an ability, he can move fast, and it gives you a number of how many people are in the area. I would much rather use another character that can see those people. That's why I put him D. I think he's very one-dimensional. If you use him on attack, I think you're just throwing, to be honest. Same thing for what we were talking with Nitro, is like, if you use him on attack, you have to have a team that can get you to sight. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use any ability. That's why I just think he's D tier. He needs a lot of buffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can agree with that then.
All right, D tier it is. Next on the list, we have Chum, the newest character, 2 Fragpunk, 3, 2.
D.
Was that D?
I said D, yes.
D? Okay. I want to hear your argument because I'm in the middle. So
when I play with him, the smoke that he can feed the chomper and then use, right? First of all, it's so difficult because like if you're in the line of sight that you wanna go, if you're stuck on a wall, he'll get stuck. Like there's no like, you can't really control him that well. He's also very slow. And then if you give him the explosive bite, you literally have to like be right next to somebody for Chomper to like even go for him. So there really is no reason to even give him that unless like, I don't know, maybe you get like a speed boost of some kind and maybe you just go in. I don't know about that. But then also I would say his traps, like they're like the explosive traps are decent if you put them in the right areas, but I just don't really think that he could be used for anything else, honestly.
Okay. So I put him as B, and I do originally I did think he was probably really bad. I put him as B because I think of him as an initiator for a team. So I'm thinking of like team comps, stuff like that. Not necessarily where you have to revolve the team around him. He has a throwable smoke ability. With Chomper, I could picture you using it to go in to find information on where they are, because they either have to shoot it or they have to get bit by it, and then you're going to know where they are.
I will definitely agree to you, but I just think that his abilities as of right now, like how slow Chopper is, is just not, it's not worth it. Like you could do really anybody else on this list that could give a little bit more stuff to that. He would be B tier if his kit was just a little bit better. Like is in like if it was just a little bit faster or something, you know?
Okay.
But I just can't really sit him in that spot to even be good yet because his kit's just not fast enough.
So if he could be there, then how do you feel about C tier then?
We can go C tier. You know what? If Chomper get out there and he start going crazy and start biting people, then Lil Chomper, go ahead and do your thing. But if you know,
I could just picture him like you're going to enter his site, you throw your smoke down, you throw Chomp down, and if Chomp goes in smoke, well then they're going to have a hard time finding it, but they still have to shoot it at some point, and that gun being to the ground allows for the perfect swing. I just don't think he's as bad as Jaguar personally. Jaguar just really feels useless. Like he has one mode and that's it. Whereas I can picture Chum being used in different ways.
Yeah, I can. Okay, then I'll go C tier because I do think that yes, if Chomper does find somebody and that ability to be able to get their head to pop down, and this person, like even if they know that person's in the corner and they do shoot him, now they know, so now they can put abilities out there in that corner and whatever. Or if they don't shoot him and he chomps him, now you know he's in that corner and now you can probably just swing on him if you really want to.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're good for a team. I'll go C.
Okay. So for our next pick, we have Corona, your Way to Move's main character.
You know?
So I think there might be a little bias to you, but we'll see how it goes. 3, 2, 1. S
tier. You already know, dude.
Yeah. Even without bias, this character is so good. The flash dash, like, is just impeccable. He can, like, in my opinion, if you dash up flash, then that's where he's going to be best at. Because if you dash and then flash, potentially you could still get shot because they're going to aim wherever you were and maybe you get shot. But if you dash up and then flash, whoever's on that site that gets flash is dead every time, in my opinion. And then he just has a fireball that he gets to launch and just consistently do damage or hold a site. So he has the option of playing attack and defense at one of the best levels.
For sure. Even combining some of his abilities, like you said, with the flash and stuff, at the highest level, it's really difficult on attack and offense to really look at him. You know, because even if you do give him that time that you do spot him, then he can use his blind and then just time it right to be able to just hit you, you know, as soon as you get blind or stuff. Or even if you think you got the time, he can just dash up on you and go crazy. So I will say though, his fireball ability does work really well too, because it does give you movement speed, and so you can even combine that when going in, and you don't even have to use your flash. You could take off an angle and then dash into that, and now you have that angle and you have damage reduction too.
Now the big question is he better than Hollowpoint and or Booker?
I think he could be better than Booker, because Booker does have a very good, you know, he has good abilities. Like we know on defense, he could lock something down. And like I said earlier, like if you wanted to attack with him, you could do the same, of course, with the smokes and stuff. But the amount of pressure that you can send on attack is just so much better than Booker's. You can constantly just be holding an angle, throw out a smoke or throw out a fireball, check the other angle, flash and dash if you need to, because you have 2 dashes and 2 flashes, so you can waste one just to check an angle.
Right. I think for me, I think he's better than Booker at a higher level, but he's worse than Booker at a lower level.
Okay. Yeah, definitely, for sure. But I mean,
just because,
you know, that's why you don't play him.
Yeah, I think he is not as easy to play. While he is still easy to play, I don't think he's as easy as Booker. I think Booker is one of the easiest characters. You can just run into a lobby and at least get 1 kill each round. But
I for sure think that he is really good. Yeah, I agree with that, because you don't even really see them end. I don't really think like gold or anything like that. But I think if you do see them, they are decent though. They're not like, there's not a lot of them, but they're out there.
Yeah.
For wonders.
What about Hollowpoint though?
No, she's babe.
Yeah. Hollowpoint honestly might be just the best character in the game at the moment.
For sure.
So for our 7th character, we have Serket. So 3, 2, 1, A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Sandstorm's so good. Tornado is really good I've seen it be used as one ways before. I've been killed because of it. The circle's really hard to get out of. And then the TP's pretty good. Downside is that it is really loud. And any character that similar to Zeph and some of the other characters, when you are in that mode, it's really hard to get your gun out in time. And so you can get timinged a lot doing it. But I put her as A, not S, because at the end of the day, if you get in that circle, you still can use your gun. If you're in the tornado, it's just like any other smoke, really. I mean, it slows, which I think is why she's all the way at A tier. But I think the top 3 S tiers are S tier for a reason. It's because if you use their abilities, you are pretty much guaranteed a kill. With hers, I just don't think you're necessarily guaranteed a kill. I think you're in a advantage for sure, but not guaranteed.
Yeah, there's just a lot of even like for map situations, I think there's a lot of like long ways that lead right onto site that you just don't really use her smoke that well, or I guess like her tornado that well. And also, yeah, like the teleporter is pretty loud, but I mean, for good information, you get good information. And you could definitely combine her abilities when it comes to throwing down the suck tornado or whatever to, possibly be able to grab somebody at a certain angle and make them show up. So, I mean, I could see it why she's good. Those top 3 is just, you do the right things and you get a kill.
Exactly. Yeah. I think you just have to work harder to
For sure.
Get her to work really good. But at the end of the day, if you play this character, you are going to be exceptional for the team. And as long as you play her correctly. So that's an easy A tier for me. So next up, we have Pathojen, the only healer in the game. 3, 2, 1, C tier.
B tier.
Okay. I'll say it was C tier. The reason I think, even though she is the only healer in the game, even with the healing cards, I think the healing cards are better than her healing ability. It's so slow and so rare that you're healing. I think there's a higher chance you heal on defense. Her wall ability is so small. I feel like it's very particular when you can use her. And then her poison, I think her poison is pretty good. It's faster than I think the rest of the healers or the rest of the damage over time abilities in the game. But because her wall is just so specific in the places you can use it, and the heal is almost non-existent unless you're on defense, it's hard to give her an average tier based on one ability alone.
Okay. I would think that I put her at B tier because there is a sort of like lockdown that she just has. Like, she's almost, to me, more of a Cypher than Chum over here with his little Cypher traps. Because even though that wall does only block off like certain parts of the map, I think just combining her abilities is just the poison. That poison is just really good. And I think that, you know what? You might just have to have this one.
Yeah. I think also based that she is the only healer. That's part of the reason why I'm kind of leaning more B now. And it's funny because you're going towards more C. Because she is the only healer in the game. And I thought about the card that when you heal, you get max health. And she's the only character that can really make that card super good.
But can you really go off of that one card though?
Yeah, I think she has many different pieces about her that are very specific. But if you like, all those specific pieces are really, really strong. Like her poison is really, really strong. if she is able to heal, it's really, really strong. If she's able to use the card, very strong. And then the maps in this game do have pretty tight corridors. So I've ran into it multiple times where that wall does cut off the entire pathway. So you do have to break it.
Right.
That's kind of why I am leaning towards B. I'm not going to lie, because when it comes to Chum, I think she is better than Chum. I think if I have Pathojen on my team, I am much happier than I am with Chum.
I mean, you can come over to B.
I think I'm at B. I think we have to give her the first B. Now for my favorite character, Zephyr. This one's going to be very interesting. So let's see where you got her at. 3, 2, 1, C.
Oh, well, dang. I mean,
yeah. I mean, although I'm biased and I play her, but there are so many different things that I would love to see. Her ability where it goes on the ground and you can be invisible for as long as that ability's up. I don't think that should be visible by enemies.
That'd be crazy.
It just really lets you know, like if the ability's on the ground, you know that she's invisible at that point. So it's kind of just a tell that she's invisible somewhere. And I think when she does go invisible, I think there needs to be a longer time limit, because you're forced to either sprint, which then is a free kill through the sound, or where she's most impactful is when she's crouched. So realistically, it just takes so much for her to work. But for her abilities, there's not much impact at all out of it. It takes so much skill to get her to really do anything. And honestly, a lot of luck most of the time. So that's why it was C tier for me, as sad as it is.
That's what I was going to say too. This is a lucky character, because there's not too many times where they're going to somehow surprise you or something like that. I think the ability to go invisible is just a little too like practical. So it's like, yeah, that thing goes down, like you said, now you know she's invisible somewhere, and the likelihood of her being able to like sneak up behind you in a certain circumstance, like, yeah, it's possible, but to have like that little amount of time that you have without making a single sound, and you having to walk past somebody to even get into that situation, is just a little difficult.
Yeah, I think for her, like if you're going invisible, you need sounds to kind of cover the fact that you went, because it makes sound once you go invisible. It makes sound when you come out of the invisibility. There's such a big delay between you pulling your gun out. There's just so many different things that are going against the character for me to put her any higher. So yeah, C tier for my love. And for our 10th character, we have Spider, the TP Master. 3, 2, 1, B. Yeah. I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's good. I think she TPs. She's good at TPing. The grenade can TP people, which could honestly screw you over. I think her blind is amazing, but I think the blinds in this game are all really good. But
I think just a part of this person being able to get to one side or the other, or one side or the other, is just really good for team rotation. Like they could potentially just be on one site and you just put all 4 somewhere else, and this person could still be able to lock it down just by going back and forth.
Yeah. I think she's very, very simple, but not really much to say about her. I mean, she has a good blind. She can TP back and forth, and she can teleport with a grenade if you hit it correctly. But I think that teleport grenade also could just really hurt her a lot as well. So yeah. B it is. All right, next up on the list we have Kismet. 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, that's the biggest difference. I'll tell you why I think she's really bad. So she has a grenade that's 100 damage. Whoop-de-doo. One of probably the worst abilities in the game, to be honest. Because abilities in this game are just so strong. Not that it's a bad ability, just the others are so strong. TP is so short. You don't get to see the other team. Serket, I mean, her TP is so much better. It's longer. You get to see where the enemies are. So her TP's pretty bad. Her revealability is okay. The fact she can activate it, I just haven't seen it ever be useful. So based on the bad grenade, the bad TP, and then her most useful ability being the big radius that reveals enemies, I just don't think it's that useful to be put anyone higher than D tier. I'd much rather have Zeph, obviously. I just think you're going to get more impact from both of those. I think even Jaguar has a better spot than she does.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from, but I think just that grenade is pretty good. I believe it is. It definitely is good at being able to just clear an angle, which at the end of the day, that's basically what a grenade is used in any of these games, is really to like either back somebody up or to clear an angle. So I think that she does that job pretty well with the amount of damage that she gets, because even if you do get like a hit for like 100, all you need is one headshot at that point, or all you need is like a couple of bullets and that person's dead.
You also have to hit the grenade, which is like insanely hard to hit.
Right, but like we said earlier, we're using the best person to play this character in rank.
I'm not saying the best person. I'm saying just someone that plays the character.
I think they play the character, they gonna know how to use that grenade.
There's a timing for it. If it hits the wall, I think the fact that you can buy a weapon that has better grenades says a lot.
I think the same thing goes with like Corona though. When it comes to his flash, like if you don't time it, you're not gonna be good. So I believe that if you don't, in the right hands, this character can be good. In the wrong hands, this character would be like D tier.
Yeah, but I see that with Corona, sure, but Corona he has a bar that tells him when it's going off. And so if you go up in the air, even if you don't hit it perfectly, you're still going to get somebody with it. I think with her, if you don't hit it perfectly, and even if you do, there's no guarantee that you're going to do anything with it.
I just kind of go in the same direction. I think if you use Corona in that same exact way, then he becomes good. But if she can hit that grenade and it hit even 2 people because they thought, oh, maybe they can run out of it before it blows up, or like it backs them up, then you still get that information. Because not every single time you flash somebody is it going to be something. You're going to clear any corner with that flash. You're not just going to walk up on it. So there might not even be a person there, you could say. So that's why I just think that. And now I will say though, I'm willing to move her down to B, or even we can go C. But I just think that I'd rather have her on my team because she still gives out information if it's well. And she still has, utility that can be used with the team, even if it is that teleporter that it's fast, or like you can't see abilities, or I'm not abilities, enemies. She can still take an angle because she cleared that angle in the first place. So clearly there's no enemy there. So like if she clears far enough back sight, she could get her TP all the way over there.
Yeah, I mean, you barely are going to make it to the other side of the site with her. Hers TP is fast. And then it's just so many if she does this, if she does that, for her to like even be a B tier. Like there's so many what ifs she does, or things that she has to do for her to use the ability. What if she got shot before all this?
I mean, that can go for every single character though at that point.
No, because that's what I'm saying is all these characters are able to use their abilities without ever being seen. Like, not all of them, obviously. It depends on what tier they are. But, like, even Chum can use his abilities before ever being seen. Or Zephyr.
I'll put her above Chum, but I'm not putting her in D tier. I don't think she's, like, completely useless. Not like what's his name?
Because, I mean, Jag uses his abilities before ever being seen.
Yeah, but now we're going off of never being seen, though. Like, what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I just don't think her abilities are good and require so many things to go correctly for her agent. At least like gun skill wise, she could have a shooter and be fine, but that goes for anybody, like even without abilities. ability wise and for her to be useful, I think her only good ability is the scan grenade that can give you information.
Which I still think is better than Chum's. Meaning as in like if well, okay, all right, that is good though, because if you do use Chomper, at least you'll know that person's in that corner. Okay, I'll give them that then. You gonna put her in between little Zephyr here in Chum, or you gonna put her in D tier?
I think she requires less skill to play than Zeph. I think Zeph, even at C tier, I think for you, I don't think a newbie is going to have a fun time playing Zeph at all. And so I guess for her, I could put her between Chum and Zeph. Is she better than Chum though?
No, I mean, what you're saying, yeah. I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I really do think that her grenade, because like you said with Chum, it's like, yes, if you use his things, then yes, he could be better. But it goes for the same thing with her, as in like, if you hit this grenade, it's going to do something. If you hit this if you hit this scan, you'll see that person. If you teleport to this side of whatever you need to, or you use the teleport efficiently, then it works. The same thing with Chum. I just don't really think that, like, if you think about it with Chum, it's like, if you throw out Chomper, sure, he might see somebody, or the angle that's farther away might see Chum and shoot him before he gets to the person in the corner. So you wouldn't even know there was a person in the corner. Or like, if you throw out his smoke with the with Chomper, like I said earlier, the shit might just get stuck on the side, and and then you just wasted an ability, and you're just sitting there walking out.
Yeah, I think she probably is better than Chum at the moment. I don't know. I think they're interchangeable, to be honest.
I can see that.
It's hard, but yeah, I can picture it. I'll put her above Chum for sure. Next up on the list, we have Axon. 3, 2, 1. D tier.
D tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that like I said, like he's a very fun character, but he has maybe like a counter pick with him too. I think against Spider, just because of his flash, where he can't be flash. So like, if you know the team has a Spider, then like that would be really good, right? Because now you know, like, any of his stuff, he's not gonna get flashed when he gets in. But it's like, you gotta hit a 2-shot with a shotgun. You gotta be pretty close. That's a lot of like space you would have to take in the midst of a smoke and everything like that. Now, if those abilities were combined, he could be good, but I don't think he really gives any value to the team by himself.
Yeah, I think he's a fun character to play if you're just going in some unrated, you're trying to vibe out, play some music, you know, you feel like a real rock star playing him. But yeah, I mean, the slide ability, like I said, it's fun, and the shotgun's cool. You can buy a shotgun. But also he has the little bombs he can throw and everything like that. But his bombs do like 5 damage. So it's like, what's the point? Because when you throw grenades, when you throw your util, it's also negative to you, because if they don't know where you're at, now they do. So it's so particular. I mean, he's honestly just really bad. So it's an easy D tier. All right, last character, Sonar. 3, 2, 1. B tier.
E tier. No, this is ridiculous. I think it's just because we just play games. We're just gamers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We play a lot together, and are going to have the same mentality on a lot of these, but I think it's pretty simple for Sonar. I think when she first came out, everyone thought she was like one of the best characters, but she's good at defense. I mean, I think Nitro is probably better at defense, to be honest, but she's good at defense. The Sonar detector is really good. Obviously one of her best abilities. And then the Sonic Punch is really good, but you have to charge it up for it to, go farther. And then you have to go around the wall and hope that there's not someone holding you, because then it's for nothing. But I think with her, you have to pair her abilities up. I think the silent footsteps are really good for repositioning. I think she has a really good kit. And B tier isn't bad anyways. It's a very balanced character. Just some characters in this game are must-play characters. You need at least, one of the S tiers on your team. But I don't think if you don't have Sonar, you're at a huge disadvantage. do think she brings a lot to the team, but just not enough to be an A tier or S tier.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It was like she's a very good team player, but even when using her sonar, it doesn't go far. So if you're checking close corners basically, unless like you put it in a really good spot that might catch like farther than like up B main or up A main. There's one map where you can put it on the top and it goes all the way down to the garden, so then you can see people who go up underneath if that's the case, and you can see how many people do. But also too with the sonar that she uses that could go through walls, yeah, it's not worth peeking around. But for a team aspect, it's very useful. And if nobody is peeking that corner, maybe maybe you threw down your sonar and it went off, and you can tell that like in a certain situation, like that's the case where there's the only player there, then it can still be really good, because either now they have to move out of that circle before they get stunned, or they're just going to get stunned and they're dead. So I think that her kit is really good. And yeah, with the repositioning of her silence too, but I also can see her silence being used in like situations of repositioning even on attack. So maybe getting a little bit closer to the site than they would perceive, and then using some of her other abilities or being able to combine with other players, because it makes everybody invisible in her circle. It's not just her.
Yeah, I think that her sonar is actually better on attack than it is on defense. I think for a retake, it sets you up for a really good retake, since she can go silent footsteps and everything. Pairing that up with, certain characters, you can get her close, set up for a good retake. And then as a team, it would work really good, because you put the sonar down, you use her pulse to stun the enemies that you scan. Like, I think she is probably one of the best retake characters, but there's just so much more to, a game, a Fragpunk retake. And that's where she lacks in a few areas. But I think, for that being said, I do think she's the best B tier.
Well, yeah, I'll go with that. I definitely think that you could definitely use her sonar a little bit more than you could use Pathogens. Now, Spider, it's just that I could give that to her.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to retake, she's the best character. I think that is something that is a play style that is very important in this game. So that's it. So there you have it, our Fragpunk tier list. Let us know in the comments below what you think. And until next time, peace.